Well, it's great to meet you, Sophie. My name's Garrett Sherlock. I am a former CIO with Cleveland Clinic and recently moved back to Australia and been working for myself, helping a number of health systems and consultancies to either take on transformation projects in Australia or potentially move their organisation to Australia to try and capture some of the exciting things that are happening here in the market.
Brilliant. So you're having a wealth of experience from across the seas.
Absolutely. So, my background is really doing, large and complex transformations and also, taking on large roles within organisations in the technology space. I was the former CIO with Cleveland Clinic London. I was there for 5 years. I saw that project right from the beginning of construction all the way through to the first year and a half of hospital operations. And then before that, I was with Cleveland Clinic in Abu Dhabi. I was there nearly 9 years, and I was in a similar role. I was the CIO for 4 years and an exec director before that. And I also saw that project right from the beginning, actually just before construction started through to the first 4.5 years of hospital operations.
Yeah, it's amazing. All right, so bringing a wealth of knowledge to the panels today at Australian Healthcare Week. Can you tell me a little bit about what panel you were on and what was some of the discussions that happened?
Absolutely. So I think the purpose of our discussion this week was to talk a little bit about what's happening and has happened in the markets outside of Australia. So I was speaking with a colleague of mine, Ed Marks, who is the former CIO of Cleveland Clinic in the US. And he has a wealth of experience as a CIO in North America. He is currently got his own consulting business and has been consulting to a number of health systems, both in North America and internationally. We really sort of talked a bit about some of the work we've done with Cleveland Clinic in North America and globally, and some of the exciting work we've done there, really to bring some of the lessons learned and experiences we've had on those projects and transformations, and hopefully share that with the audience and bring some of that knowledge to the group.
Yeah, so what are some of those lessons that are really transferable to the Australian healthcare landscape?
Absolutely. I think one of the really exciting things that Cleveland Clinic have done is they really created a truly globally integrated health system. All the hospitals globally are on the same electronic medical record, and we've really tried to drive standardisation across the whole health system globally. And that's something that's quite unique in healthcare. When you think about healthcare, I sort of describe it as a very tribal industry. You can have a hospital, in the centre of Sydney, and you walk down, drive a couple of suburbs away and go into a different hospital, and they're completely different. The workflows are different. One's on paper, one's using an electronic medical record, and to be honest, that leads to the level of care and quality of care being different, necessarily better or worse. But it's not you're not getting that benefit of standardisation and best practice being brought industry wide, which I think we've seen in other industries, but healthcare is really far behind from that perspective.
So what were some of the key takeaways then in the broader discussion today on the panel?
I think there's a couple of things we talked a bit about. One of the big things that Cleveland Clinic do well, and it is really important for organisations to be successful, is focusing on the culture of your organisation, and culture, whether it be within a hospital and the organisation, and being a patient-centred organisation, focusing on great outcomes, or potentially when your organisation is going into a transformation, that you have the culture within the organisation to ensure that they're ready for that big change and that big transformation. So we talked a lot about culture, and also we talked a little bit about some of the lessons learned. What were some of the success factors that we had on some of the large transformations we did within the clinic? What did we do well? Where did we learn lessons? What could we have done better? And there were sort of two big areas we discussed.
Yeah, amazing. So for the Talking Health Tech audience that haven't been here today, what is something that you'd like to leave with them then? Okay,
well, a couple of things. One is, when you're thinking about culture, it's something that you don't just create, you have to build and build from the ground up. And we talked a little bit about having a culture of gratitude. One of the things that I think is really powerful is having that sort of culture of gratitude and being a true serving leader for your caregivers within your organisation. when, times get tough, gratitude is really important. And, we got told, I got told by my previous CEOs that, when the times are tough, you should double down on the gratitude. So that's probably one takeaway. Another takeaway is, and when we talked a bit about large transformations and, what are the things you need to do to try your best to sort of make sure you're successful. There were sort of 5 things that I, mentioned that are really important. One of them is culture. The other one is having, the right stakeholders engaged on that particular transformation. Picking the right partners, whether that be system integrators, vendor partners, and the like. Having the right caregivers. You need to make sure when you're going on a transformation, you have the right people involved at the project. Transformations can be complex, lots of change, lots of variability, lots of uncertainty. Often, that's difficult for some people. Some people love it. You need to make sure you pick the right people to do already that. The next thing was governance. When you go on a transformation, you need to put the right governance in place. One, very quickly I mentioned was you need governance and the right governance, not process for the sake of process, but process that, ensures that you have the right, things in place to make that project successful. And then the last thing was, financial stewardship. And it sounds obvious, but on, big complex projects, you can often have challenges with timelines and budget, but you need to make sure, you're a really good financial steward.
Yes. Amazing. Well, thank you for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Sophie. Great to meet you, and I really enjoyed the discussion.